Yo, 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 and hello. Out there, world, what is going on? It's your boy, Willie Epstein Jr. Shakeback Sports Show, BGC Sports Network, once again, live, loud, and in color. I got my homegirl, my sissy from another Missy, my homie, Rachel Hill, First Lady of Sports. What's going on, sis?
Hello, Willie. How are you today?
Hello, Willie. How are you today? I'm fine. Thank you. Why do you sound like a robot?
I don't know. I hope I don't sound like a boy either, because that was pretty deep.
Well, that's just me. I can't help that. Anyway, welcome to a brand new episode of this terrific show, powered, of course, by the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Yo, we got so much to get into today, or actually, on this show, it is not even funny. Breaking news all over the NFL. We're going to get to that here in just a quick minute. But before we do any of that, you already know what it is. We got to pay the bills. Zoomio. If you deal with chronic inflammation, allergies, high glucose, lack of energy, and a growing list of health issues, it is time to get serious about enhancing your quality of life with premium products from Zoomio. Don't confuse this with vitamin water because this water is hydrogenated with powerful antioxidants to help reduce inflammation and so much more at a cellular level. So it is time to protect and improve your health by placing your order today by calling 214-505-9951. Again, that's 214-505-9951. Tell them that your boy and your girl, Willie Epstein Jr. and Rachel Hill from the Shakeback Sports Show, Shakeback Media Group, and the family of shows here on the network told you to holler at them so y'all can get you can get your health straight and y'all can set it off on getting the road to getting that done. All right, Rachel. Odell Beckham Jr., who is near and dear to you, who is near and dear to your heart, is now in Los Angeles with the Rams. But we're gonna start with Cam Newton as he is back in Carolina or in Charlotte for the Carolina Panthers. And I just like, I like to put music to stuff. So that this is kind of the emblematic issue or theme of Carolina and Cam. That that is
I'm trying to hear it.
oh, you can't hear it? Oh man, it was a breakup to make up by the stylistics. So at that failed experiment of that intro, Cam Newton, quarterback, once of the Carolina Panthers, then of the New England Patriots, now back with the Carolina Panthers in light of the injuries to Sam Darnold, who's going to be out probably for the next several weeks. Word count came out on Thursday, Rachel, that Cam is back in Carolina. Your thoughts?
I mean, he knows. Well, things are different now because his former coach, isn't there, Ron Rivera. So, different coach, different system, different opportunity. So, I'm looking forward to seeing if Cam has anything left. He was released from the New England Patriots. You thought that that was it for Cam. So, this is an opportunity to see if Cam has anything left and if he can help Carolina in any way. I think they're out of contention probably. But I guess it's a great, feel good story, something you can script out of a movie, for him to go back to the team that, started it off for him. And, he made a Super Bowl appearance and things of that nature. So, Carolina probably has always been home for him. So I'm excited for him. I can't wait to see, how he looks this Sunday once I see the highlights. So, you could play Welcome Back Cotter now. You know,
That
that's a good song. Or Guess Who's Back, that rap song. Was it Maze? I think Maze and Puffy.
yeah, Mace and Puffy redid that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I actually
That
had
was
that.
appropriate to throw in.
Yeah, I actually had that
Mhm.
out there before, and I erased it, and I didn't even think about it this time. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Cam returns home essentially 2015 NFL MVP. Of course, he took the Carolina Panthers to the Super Bowl that year. They finished that year 15-1. But that Cam Newton was 7 years ago, and the Cam Newton from then to now has had a plethora of injuries to include his shoulder, his foot, his back, his neck and my back, all that. Right?
Yeah.
So what do we think? What do we reasonably think that Cam is going to be able to offer the Panthers moving forward? Now, the Panthers have one of the top 10 NFL defenses out there. I think they're ranked number 7. And then they've got playmakers on the outside with Anderson, as well as DJ Moore and the rookie from LSU, Terrace Marshall Jr. Christian McCaffrey is coming back. What can he reasonably give the Panthers in to try to get them back to the playoffs?
He only 32 years old.
Okay.
I thought he was older than that.
Yeah, a lot of people. His body's probably older than that.
Yeah. Well, Willie, I guess he really can't really offer them much of anything. Just a bridge for them to the next quarterback.
Well, let's talk about it in terms of this season, though. I mean, do we think they realistically have a good chance of making a run to the postseason?
No. What's their record now?
They are, I believe, 4-5.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're probably right. They probably waited 2 weeks too late, because I think they were really trying to see what Sam Darnold could provide them, since they did make the trade for him, and gave up relatively nothing, but they still got him on the staff. And then they picked up his 5th-year option, so he's on the books for them for another year. So we can reasonably say that Cam could very well be auditioning for next year's starting quarterback job.
Yeah, because it's only a 1-year deal, but why does it feel like Sam Darnold has been in the league for about 10 years at this point? Does it seem like that to you?
I mean, he's had everything from a shoulder to a finger to mono. I don't even know if he's had COVID, but hopefully he hasn't and he won't get it. Now we know. Now this is another thing too with Cam before we move on to Odell Beckham Jr. He has since been vaccinated. So I think that has a little bit to do, if I'm not mistaken. I'm thinking he has been vaccinated. I think I heard that somewhere a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, he's been vaccinated. If that's the case, I think they may have played a big part in where he is right now. What do you say?
I heard that he got vaccinated too. Has Aaron Rodgers got vaccinated yet? I'm still wondering.
We're not talking about him in this first segment. He ain't worthy.
I know, but it's just funny how, to me, and to avoid going down that long wind tunnel is different strokes for different folks. So I'm glad he got it. Hopefully it was one of the catalysts of getting another opportunity. But even though I don't think that the Panthers are going anywhere, I'm still excited to see what Cam Newton has left. I've always liked Cam Newton as a player. I had to root for that Super Bowl against him in the Super Bowl because I wanted Peyton Manning to win. But then I found out about Peyton Manning and those allegations, and I was no longer a fan. But it was too late to take it back because they had already won.
Right.
But I've always, liked, Cam Newton because America always has a hard time embracing the black quarterback. So, I want to see if he can do anything, and actually help the Panthers maybe place them in the running for a playoff position or one of the lower seeds, a wild card. We shall see. I highly doubt it, but I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, and this Cam Newton Carolina Panthers situation kind of reminds me of the dude that broke up with his girl, and 5 years later, after she matures into a butterfly, then he goes back to her. Okay, that's what that reminds me of. And speaking of just that, Odell Beckham Jr., no longer a Cleveland Brown, signed or is going to sign with has agreed to terms with the Los Angeles Rams. And I put a poll out on Twitter, Rachel, at Shakeback Media Group. Go check it out there and cast your vote about who has the best wide receiver room in the NFL. But before we do that, What is Odell Beckham Jr. going to do for a Rams team that is already loaded?
You know what? The more I think about that move, I think was he wanted to go to a bigger market. He came from the New York market, which is the biggest market in the world, to little Cleveland, Ohio, where the media really didn't beat up on him or anything like that. A lot like the Kardashian sisters said they loved being here when Tristan was here because nobody bothered them. So if you got, worldwide famous people like that saying they're never bothered, I'd imagine for the most part, Odell was never really bothered here. Football fans, come holler at him. But I think he wanted to be in a bigger market and he went to LA to a team that was already loaded. I guess he was okay with playing a role. He just wanted to be somewhere where he wanted to be. So I'm a little hurt, quite honestly, by that. I'm sorry that Cleveland wasn't where he wanted to be, as far as the media exposure and stuff like that. But it is what it is. And I think we that's the thing that we forgot in this move is one of the quotes when he came to Cleveland. He said that the Giants sent me to Cleveland so they thought my career would die. So I think he looked at Cleveland as kind of like a lot of people do, a podunk town and stuff like that. I think at the end of the day, this was all strategic marketing move, and because you don't see him having a whole bunch of endorsements and stuff like that. But remember the watch incident with the Philip Matique watch and how people were getting mad about that. And then I tried to tell people, excuse me, excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That you have to understand that they're not marketing to people like me and you, who they're marketing to a certain subset of people. So, because people have got mad about it and all that other stuff. And I'm like, all it is doing is building exposure for this company who probably gift him with more watches and things like that. But you have to think about, that strategic partnerships and stuff like that. And, he looks up to LeBron, probably wants to be like LeBron. And he realized that his star has more power in a city, of angels. So I think it was a marketing move at this point in his career. And he's going to be okay with not being the number one receiver. Cause like we said, the Rams are loaded. So I think that this was strictly a, marketing type deal instead of the actual football type thing. Sadly.
Yeah. All right. So let me throw in my half cent worth. Cooper Kupp, Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, Henderson in the backfield, Sony Michel in the backfield, Robert Woods. Those, and of course Matthew Stafford flinging it all over the place. Let me come at it from this standpoint. I'm thinking about Coach Sean McVay right now, because no longer does he have a reason or an excuse to get this team past where they got against the Patriots in the Super Bowl a few years ago. This team is gunning to win the championship now, and that's just the offensive players that we name, Rachel. When you think about the fact that he traded he traded the number one overall pick to get the quarterback that he wanted. He traded for Jalen Ramsey. He traded for Sonny Michel. He traded for Odell Beckham Jr. He traded for Von Miller. All this star power all over the field for the Rams. The pressure to me is so much on Sean McVay to get it done this year that he ain't going to have a reason or excuse. And if they don't do it this year or maybe next year, they're going to be in salary cap HE double hockey sticks for the next foreseeable future because of this reason right here. So I want to come at it from the standpoint of a coach. How do you feel? What are your thoughts about that statement from a coach's standpoint?
I think you're absolutely correct, but the road to the Super Bowl in the NFC runs through Tampa Bay. So, do they have enough? Can Sean McVay outcoach Andy Reid? You have to look at that as well. But that road goes through.
Bruce Arians.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Thank you. TB12 though, you have to be able to stop Tom Brady, and so far in big games, obviously it was different in the AFC, but this is the NFC. So, first year go to the Super Bowl, you got to get past Tom Brady in the NFC now. So now he's a nightmare for them. But if you can get past him, then you absolutely have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
All right. So the poll out on Shakeback Media at Shakeback Media Group on Twitter. Who has the better wide receiver room? Go check that out. Cast your vote. We're gonna spotlight that probably later on in the show. Rachel's got to get out of here, man. That's the end of the first segment. Y'all come on back on your side of the break. Yeah, that was quick. Y'all come on back on your side of the break, man. We're gonna get into some more, or we actually got some NBA to talk about. And then Marshawn Powers is gonna join me in the third segment. Shakeback Sports Show, Game Christian Sports Network. Y'all come on back and holler at us.